This conference will now be recorded.
Alright, so let's get started. So what is the last thing we discussed with Python? Hello,
String functions.
string functions.
एक
Okay.
मिनट ठीक है
Yeah.
ये इधर
Right.
से प्रॉब्लम कर रही है आ जाएगी
Okay. Let's next discuss about the app string.
अब थोड़ी देर छोड़ दो
Okay.
प्लीज
So let's discuss about the app string. What is the app string means all about is
and
suppose you have a
yes sir that assignment has been done and then one question there was one function is split. I don't remember the function but we were trying to remove the comma from the string in between the string.
split.
A split,
Sorry,
yeah.
strip.
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 Hmm.
Yeah, that I think that works if comma is before the string or after the string.
Correct. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to ask you. That strip will work whenever the character is at the first place or in the last place, not in the between. That's
Yes.
correct. Yeah, that's right. Already tested it. That's okay. Next, discuss about the app string. Okay, app string is something like suppose you have some variables. Okay, so let's say this is one variable, and suppose one variable I have is like hmm, what I need is that in the print statement I want to use this two variable in the output. So what does this value contain doesn't matter, but I want to use that variable. So like the name is located or situated at the location variable, something like that. So for to use the name and location inside the this one now in a print statement itself, then we need to use the f string. So how to write the f string? We need to use the f keyword here. Okay. Then we need to put a double quote string started. Okay. So let's take I want to say employee, then I want to give the name of the employee which is stored inside the name variable. So I will say one curly braces, inside that I will put my variable here in situated, something like that, situated at location. Let's see. So this is the way you can use the variable inside the print statement itself. That is, this is called the f string, and this will be double quote needs to be ended here. So what will happen is, so when this string got executed, right, these are all the literals and these are all variables. Okay, and what are the variables it will be there? It will give you the output. Enter. See, makes sense? This is called the f string. Making sense?
Yeah. So
Okay.
the same result we are getting with another function also. What is the
Which
difference in
one?
here?
Which function we are getting?
If employee. Okay, no sir. How does with uh, con it's a just we are connecting these two variables, right?
We are not connecting. We are just extracting the value inside the print statement itself. Not concatenating. We are not concatenating. Just we are using it.
Okay.
Again, I'm asking you guys are practicing properly?
Yes, sir.
Everybody?
Last class I didn't do it, sir.
Yeah, same
I'm,
with me, sir.
again, I'm saying in this page, I'm getting the lack of practice only. Always. Whenever any new batch is started, this is what I'm saying. It is continuation from the sequel. Power BI also the same issue. Now the Python also simple thing we're discussing, but we are lacking of practice. I'm not sure why. Anyway, conditional statement. Conditional statement is nothing but your if else. Okay. So suppose you want to have a two number and you want to calculate or you want to represent or you want to display which number is even number or odd number. Right? Suppose a equals to 12. Now I will say if a modulus of 2 equals to 0. We will compare that because it is divisible by 0 and the remainder will be 0, then it is even number. Right? Then this is the syntax. If condition, in order to put a column and say print number is even, else also do like this. So the print number is odd. Right. If you enter this, it will throw an error. Okay. This is a very good error. This is always you should remember. That is called the indentation error.
Sorry.
Indentation error is something like if
Yeah.
we are taking the condition and the print statement always starting at the same position of the if
Mm-hmm.
and even at the else. So this should be indented properly. So it should be inside the if block. This is always the case in Python. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So to give the indentation, there are two ways to give. First is the tab button. One tab you need to press or four spaces. Four space. Okay. Four spaces is sometimes hard to remember, so better to go with the tab. So this is the tab I'm giving, and even also this also. This is now properly ended. So if inside this is the block, else this is inside the block. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
now run it. So it's a number is the even number. Okay. So instead of taking the hard coded value, like the constant value of 12, 13, 14, so this I want to take the input from the user. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here I will say input. For that I can use one function called input. Input,
Mm-hmm.
enter a number. So it will ask you now a number. But let's see. I am giving a number called, let's take 12 now. Again, this is the combination. Now this is an error it is coming.
Yeah.
What is this error?
Because
Hmm,
because input, whenever we use input, it always is written a string,
correct.
and
That's correct.
here
So
it's
correct.
int.
So we need to convert into the int. Correct. That's correct. Absolutely. Now if I give 12 now, it will give it output as number is even. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So now how indentation work here properly? See. Here I am giving now a print. Say no even node. Something like that. When this print will be executed, let's see. This is not in the if block, neither in the s block. It's just a separate block itself, right? Enter, shift enter. So I say 0. Which one we should execute here?
0.2.
Last one.
Now 0 divided by 0 print is even, it is saying. We are not have a condition for the 0. So anyway, this will execute, but after that the normal block of the if also will be executed because it is not under anything. If it is under the if and else, then it will be not executed, but that is a separate block. It is not inclined towards any of the condition. So it will just execute. Okay. So here you can check it out one condition like whether that number is 0, then print 0, something like that. We can do it. How to do that? Suppose here I can say a equals to 0, then I can say print number is 0. Now I need to check another condition here. So I can see else if. So this is called the elif. Okay. Elif a equals to 0, then number is given. Else, okay, or print number is, okay. So this is also can be possible. Let's see, 0, number is 0. Okay, 12, number is 0. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
So these are the if, else if conditions, everything. Okay. Now I am giving an example assignment now itself. Just try it out. So let's take customer underscore ID equals to A0012. Okay. Now here the condition is if the customer ID is greater than or if the customer ID is equals to 12, then print one message saying that this is the 12th employee. Else you can say other employee.
If,
Possible?
if customer ID greater than, what did you
No,
say?
customer ID equals to 12. Customer
Equals to.
ID equals to 12. Give a print statement saying that employee is this is the 12th employee. Else others. Possible?
Hmm. Okay. Uh, so employee, this customer ID is A0012,
Right.
and we need to check 12 only. If customer ID equals to 12.
That's correct. What you are saying that is correct. But how to do
Hmm.
it?
Sir, can you explain this stop function again? The that's what name the top one.
Which
This
top?
F employee name. In line 1, abstract
That
function.
that is
What?
nothing. It's just like a take the variable. Here is a literal let employee. This is a variable which you declare. When you want to use the variable, you need to just put it in a curly braces. That's it.
If customer ID equal to this one, we need to print, right? The employee, I mean, customer ID is 12.
Hmm. At least give you basic idea, please.
Actually, this ID is uh, string, and we are matching number to string.
Right, that's correct.
So just this need to be done.
Can you paste your code?
So make it. I didn't do.
Okay.
Just a minute,
Anyway,
sir. Yeah.
okay, sure, sure.
Or okay, sir, you can continue. We'll do it.
So here the basic thing is this is a string type.
Mm,
First of all, you need to extract the integer part from here. Or I need to somehow get the 12. Then only I can compare, right?
yes.
Otherwise, it is impossible to compare. So I can use one function here. What is that? Customer ID dot strip, and I will remove a from here first because a is in first type. Now, if I give the output, it will give you 0012. Right? But I want only the 12, so I can convert this into an integer.
Mm,
So it will give you the 12. Now I can use my if statement, right? If
yeah,
this
that's.
equals to 12, like that, print this is 12th employee. Else, right? Make sense?
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Now let's discuss about the sequence data types. First, we'll discuss about the list. Okay, so the list or the sequence data type is something like when you want to store multiple information of different types or different data types, then you can use the sequence. Okay, and one of the sequence data type is called the list. What does it mean? Suppose I want to create an employee list. Okay, and how to declare the list? List can be declared with this square bracket. If you keep a square bracket, that in Python is considered as a list. Okay, in an employee list, I can have the name, their age, their designation, their salary, right? Multiple informations like or different types. Employee name is a string type, designation is also a string type, whereas the salary is integer type, right? Age also is integer type, or salary could be fractional also. So it's combination of different stuffs. So in that case, your sequence data type will help you, and one of the sequence data type is called the list. So here, suppose I say the name is ABC. Okay. Then suppose age is, let's take 34, and designation is suppose something like senior software engineer, and finally his salary. So let's take 5654.34. This combination is never possible in a normal data type. This is only possible in case of the sequence, and one of the sequence is called your list. So this is a list. So now if you execute it, employee underscore list, you will get the data, whatever you have entered it. Okay, making sense this is?
Yes, sir.
So this is the first way to declare an employee or declare to list. So whenever you have a list, you just put it in the square bracket and just enter your value. That is called the one kind of declaration. And another declaration I can say. So let's take employee underscore list one equals to this. So this is called a blank list. Okay. So this list doesn't contain anything, but this is a list type. You can add later on the values, but we'll see how to add it. Okay. This is also one kind of declaration. This is called the blank list. Okay. Another way to declare is you can use a list function and we can put the string here. So let's take it like this list, and inside that I put a string hello. So if you enter it, it will create a list of all the characters inside the string. The output is this list, and each character of that it will be as a member of the list. Okay, so these are the three ways. One way, blank, using the list function. Okay, okay. Next, suppose this is the list declaration, we saw that. Then suppose we want to see, check the membership test. Membership test means what? Whether that, suppose you have a list called employee underscore list. Inside there some members are there, right? So you want to check whether that member is available inside the list. Suppose you know the number members inside that. So suppose I say ABC. This is my employee name, right? In. I can use the operator called in operator. I say employee underscore list. So this is a membership test you are taking it. So this member is available inside the list or not. If it is available, it will give you true. If it is not available, it will give you false. See, this is a true statement. So this is called a membership test. Okay.
Okay.
Second, this is already checked. Second is that unpacked list. How to unpack list in the sense I have how many entries I have? One, two, three, four. Four entries I have inside the employee list. Or I can say there are four members are available inside my list. These four members I want to unpack to four variables, separate variables. Okay. So in this case, what I need to do? A, comma B, comma C, comma D. Four variables I took equals to employee underscore list. In this case, what happen is each member of the list will be assigned to one variable. And here the thumb rule is how many members you have inside the employee list, that many variables you need to take it. If you take less than that or greater than that, it will not work out. So here I have a 4 members and will take 4 variables here. This is called the unpacking. So shift to enter, it will execute. Now try to display the A. We'll get ABC. If you enter B, it will give 34. If you give C, the software engineer, and D, it will be the salary.
So,
Right?
hmm.
This is called the unpacked list. So list will be unpacked to a variables. Okay?
Okay, sir.
The second one, ABC in employee list is there, right? Isn't it? That is for
Which one?
membership list, right? The
This is
ABC.
for the correct. This is for the membership test.
So,
The member
what
is
if
inside the list or not?
if you, I mean, like if we want to select to check two variables inside the list, comma,
Which variable?
Like
like
ABC.
Means
ABC and
ABC,
34 or
comma
34.
34.
Yeah, yeah,
Like this you are saying?
yeah.
The output will be like this only. Yes, it can check. But it is checking this one actually. This is only the checking. It is just the output.
Okay.
So, yeah. And if you want to check multiple values, then it will go through the loop, not directly.
Okay.
So because my members will be moved, right, from the 0 position to the 1 position, 2 position, 3 position, that can be done with the loop only. Directly it is
My
not possible.
indexes will be changed. Yeah.
Correct. So that will be loop. When you discuss about the loop, yes, that is possible.
Mhm.
Okay. Next, suppose changing the list elements. Next, we will discuss about changing the list element. This is the advantage of the using of the sequence. Okay. So one advantage is that we can have heterogeneous kind of data. In the sense, we can have any kind of data inside. We can store inside the sequence or part of the list. That is the one advantage. Second advantage is that we can modify, in the sense, once you enter, in case of string, right, once you enter, this is static, you can't change that. Okay, unless until you are deleting or creating a new thing, you can't change that. But the sequence data type and or specifically the list can be modified. Okay, so I can add a new member, I can delete a member, I can sort the member. All these things we can do. That's why the advantage of the list is more important. Okay, it is not like, suppose let's take in the employee list, let's say, and to modify. Modify in the sense, for the first position, let's take for the employee ABC, the designation got changed to SSC to let's say team lead. So I will say employee underscore list, okay, of the index I need to give 0, 1, 2 is the two index equals to, let's say T.
Just value.
Then
Okay.
what? That's it. So it will be, now if
TA.
we execute employee underscore list here, the
Mhm.
second position will be same. This is the advantage of the list. This can't be possible in a string variable. Okay. So this is the one way to do modify. But here what is happening is, when you are putting the second index, it is just replacing. It is not considering the previous value. It is just replacing. This is the first way to do it. Second, suppose you want to add one more entry to this employee list at the end of. Suppose we have a name, age, designation, salary. So after that, I want to add one more called department.
Mhm.
Okay. So that can be possible through two functions. One is the append function, and second one is the insert. Let's see the append one. So I say employee underscore list dot append, and I will say department is IT. So what will happen is in case of the append function, this value will be entered at the end of the list, whatever the end would be. Okay, end index. Enter it, check it. It will be entered in the last. Okay, right. So this is the one way to insert the employee. Okay. Suppose what I need is suppose name, then age, then designation, then salary, then department is there. Right.
Insert.
So I say the name, then
Mm-hmm.
age, and before the designation, I want to enter his manager name. Okay, but through the append, I can't do it. In append, if you enter the manager name, it will go in the last always. Append is always inserting the at the end of the list or end of the whatever the index I have. But in this case, I want to insert here the manager after the name, after the age, then the manager name should come. Then rest of the things. So that time you have another function that is called insert.
Yeah.
In the insert, there are two parameters. First is the index number, then the value. Okay. So here, suppose 0, 1, 2. In the second position, I want to give the manager name. Let's say XYZ. Then what happened? This time insert will work, but it will insert at the second position. Then the designation will be moved to third position, and rest of the things goes forward. Okay. Now see. Got it? This point. So now the tail is moved back, and XYZ got inserted at the second position. Okay. So this is the difference between your append and the insert. Append always insert at the end of the string, sorry, end of the list, whereas the insert we can be specified the index number and you can insert the values there. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Now this is changing the list or adding. Okay, we are done. Next, suppose concatenation of the list. Okay, so the concatenation of the list is something like, suppose let's take employee underscore list one. I have. Do I have a list one? I have a blank list. Okay, employee list one equals to. Let's take the employee ID I have here. Okay, so let's take the E001. Then another list I have where I have contained the employee ID. Now what I need to do, the employee list and the employee list one, I want to combine. Okay. So I say full employee list equals to employee underscore list plus employee underscore list one. Just simple concatenation. This is the concatenation. Now if we say the full employee list, let me copy this, then we will get another entry at the end. Let's call the E001. Okay, this is called the concatenation.
So it will add all the elements of both the list and
Not add, concatenate,
concatenate. Okay.
combine.
So if we want to in list one there are employee information, or list two there are some other
Just
information.
that we can combine.
Okay, just few items from list two, then not all the items from the list two we want to concatenate.
Okay, then that is like that's what I'm saying. It can be through the loop only. So you need to get the index number and that you need to concatenate. So first of all, you need to read that, right? through the for loop or each loop or whatever.
Okay. Hmm.
Okay. Now, suppose let's take employee list. Here, next is the deletion, delete items on the list. So how to delete? So we have a function called del. del. Okay. So then I say employee underscore list. Okay. Then I'll say it like this. So if you delete like this, no, let me first copy this data. I want this, enter. Now this will be deleted.
Hmm.
Okay, it is not longer exist. This command is used to permanently delete the list itself. Okay, but let me create one more time. But what I need is in this case is I don't want to delete the list. Instead of that, I want to delete the list member of the list rather than complete list. Okay. So that time we need to use like this employee underscore list. Then we need to put the index number. Look for what you want to delete. Then it can delete the member of the list rather than deleting the complete list. Okay. So here, suppose you want to say from the 1 position to the 3 position, I want to delete it. So what are the items it will delete from this list?
34 XYZ.
34 and TL.
34 XYZ TL.
Yeah.
Make sure that again cross check.
No, 34 and XYZ. So it will
Right.
stop before 3.
It will stop at 3, right? So always it will be -1. So 1 and 2. This 2 will be deleted, not the 3 position. Okay.
Hmm.
See. TL is there. 34 and XYZ is got deleted. Okay.
Hmm.
So this is the way we can delete the member of a list based on the index number. Okay. But another function I have that is called employee underscore list dot remove. Here we need to specify the item, which item I want to delete. But in this case, in case of the remove, the only disadvantage is that we need to know what the list contains or what is the item it contains. Based on the item value only, I can delete it out. So I can say IT. Then what will happen? This will remove the IT only, whichever position it is there. Remove. Okay. Now to say that the IT will be removed. So these are the two ways we can remove or delete the items from the list. Okay. Now your job is one simple exercise you need to do it. Just note it down. Create a list, any list, whatever you want, with some duplicate items. Okay. Create a list, simple 4 or 5 members list with some duplicate items, and finally use the remove queue method and delete that duplicate item, only that item, and see what is happening, whether it is deleting all the items or what is happening. Let's just see then and let me know.
Okay. Yeah. it removes what only the one item which he see the first.
What about others?
No, it did not remove the others. I gave 12, 23, 12, and one string, only one word, and then I
No, I
said
got
remove
it. Your
12.
answer, I got it. What I'm asking
Hmm.
should be, sorry, Shailaja and Rajni. What's your input?
My Jupyter is not working. I don't know. If you want, I will share my screen. Something it's giving like scanners and cameras. Something.
No. Rajni, your answer would be?
Sir, it's a 23, 12, and HH thing.
No, I'm saying what is happening if you delete the duplicate item in the remove. That is the answer I'm looking at.
What is that? We have to change the value.
Yeah, that's should be what you are saying that is correct. Okay, so let's take an example list. I'm taking it. That's correct. What you are saying it. So I have sub 12, then 23, then 12, then suppose again 23, then 56, 78. So there are some duplicate items here, right? On this list. Now I can suppose example underscore list dot remove, and you want to remove 12. So I have two 12s actually, but it will remove only the first one, the first occurrence. This is the problem in the remove. And if you want to remove one more 12, then you need to execute one more remove. Okay. So this is the problem on the remove. Making sense?
Yeah, or with the loop,
Yeah.
if you see
To the loop we
the
can. Yeah, correct. To the loop we can do it. But normally it will remove only the first occurrence of the value. That's it. Okay.
hmm.
All right. So now and next we want to discuss about the list functions. What are the functions? I already few functions we discussed in the string. The list function would be length, sum, max, min. Okay. These are the important functions I can say. Okay. So suppose in the example list, I have some values I have, right? So I can say sum of example underscore list. So it will sum up all the number. Sorry, spelling mistake. Example underscore list. So it will give you the sum. You will just sum that number and it will give you some same kind of thing, max. Okay. It will give you the maximum number on that. So I say minimum. It will give you the minimum of that number. Hmm? And I can say the length. Length means
how many?
how many numbers I have, how many words, or what the how many members I have in the list. 5 members. Okay. And suppose here I want to calculate the average.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In Python, directly average is not possible unless until you will import one math library. But right now we don't know how to import the math library, so we will not discuss that. But instead of that, how we can leverage the average using these functions or along with this function only. Then we need to do like this. Normally, average you're going to calculate. So I can say sum of
Mm. Divided
divided
by.
by length of example list. So the member. This is called the average, right?
Okay.
This is called the average normally. But we have a dedicated function for the average, but we can use it later, not now, because that for that we need to import some Python libraries. Okay.
Mm.
All right. Now suppose next we will see is the list function we discussed. Suppose then sorting, list sort. How we can sort the list. Okay. So let's create a example list here only again because I want to list not to be sorted in proper order. So let's say 134, then 12, then 45, then let's say 23, then suppose 567. So there is some disorders are available here, okay, in the example list. So this I want to sort it, okay. So there are two ways to sort in Python. One is the sort method. So example, so the list name dot sort. That's it. Okay. So what will happen is this when you execute this one, this will permanently sort the member of the list. Permanently. Whatever the order you have entered, this is the order we entered, right? But it
Mm.
will not respect that order, and once you execute the sort, it will permanently sort the order in ascending order. Okay,
Mhm.
that's it. So now if we say example underscore list, no, it will always in the ascending order. Okay, makes sense. And in this case, this is permanent sort. Okay, sort is a function which is used for the permanent sort. And suppose there is no ascending or descending parameter for the sort. So once you sort this one, suppose you want to showcase in a descending order, then in that case we need to do something like this. After the sort, I say example underscore list dot reverse.
Reverse order.
Okay,
Mm.
so we need to use the reverse function. Oh, sorry, not like
Okay.
this, like this. So now this will, sorry, now after this executed, I can say example underscore list. So this will be on a what happened? Reverse doesn't happen. Let's see. Yeah, that was not executed properly. Now you see, it is on a reverse order. So there is no descending sort. Only thing is we need to sort it, then reverse it. Okay. Alright. So this is one method to do it, the sort, where the it will be a permanent sort. But let me create one more time the example list because I want to show you one more sort mechanism. So let me create the list again with different orders. Now I have a function called sorted. Sorted. Then I say example underscore list. In this case, what will happen is the output of this will be on a sorted order. It will not affect to the list. The list order will be remains the way it is. Okay. It will just give an output of the list members in a ascending order. Okay, these are the two ways we can do the sort. The only difference is in case of the normal sort method, it will be permanently
Hmm.
sort the order of the sorry member of
Yes.
the list,
Mm.
and whereas in the sorted, it will just give you the output. It will not change the any member, the order of the member in the list. And if you want the
Reverse.
descending order sort, then you need to sort, then you need to reverse it.
Hmm.
All
So
right.
if
So
we
this is
reverse
the
it now, so it should not work on the sorted.
how we will do it. The sort. Just tell me. So here. So here we need to use. I think let's do that. I
Huh.
never tried this like this.
Mhm.
But the reverse wall, once you have the reverse right, it will be permanently again.
Hmm.
But it is not the proper order. No, it is not working. Reverse is not working. Though you want the sorted order in the reverse, right? Mm,
So then
and the
we
thing.
have to store in some other variable and
Correct.
then we can reverse
Correct.
in that.
That is the only way. That is the only way. Otherwise, it is not possible. Yes. Directly, it is not possible. That's correct.
Okay.
Absolutely. So this we need to store in something. Then we can do the reverse. It will work. Yes. Okay. So these are the things. And few other functions I have on the list which I want to discuss. Suppose where is that number list? Employee list. Sorry. I have an employee list, right? So employee underscore list. Let's enter it. Here suppose I say employee underscore list. One of the member I took it. Okay. So let's take ABC. Sorry, dot index. Then I will take in a member of the list. Here, suppose ABC. Like this it should be. Then what will happen is it will check the member is available, and if it is available for that member, it will give you the index number, which index number it belongs to. The ABC belongs to the zero index. Okay, this is quite helpful actually. Yeah. And suppose we want to count the number of something, so I say employee list dot count. That you know that in the string also I discussed this. What happened? Sorry, not count. Count inside that you need to put some value. So something like let's take TL. How many TLs I have? Okay. So right now it is one. If it is more than one, it will give you that many counts. Okay. And reverse already I discussed. So these are the main functions I can say which will be useful. Sum, max, min, len, sort, sorted, then index, then reverse, then your count. These are the very important, and other functions are there, but that will be I had never used, so I'm not discussing that one. So these are the mostly used, but you can just check it out. What are the other list function, and whenever it is required, just go to the Python documentation, refer it, and use it. Okay, as
Okay.
simple as that.
So these add, max, these function can work if employee, if list has only integer
Integers.
number of data. Okay.
Now count can be work on string also, and count have we already done a string right here, and even the index also it will be work out. The sum is fine. Yeah, correct. The sum will be on the integer only, right? Sum, max, min. That is the sum of string. Nothing, right? That's correct.
Yeah, it's not like right.
Okay. Now, next I want to discuss about this sort we discuss nested list. Nested list is something like the list within the list. Okay, this is also quite helpful actually. So here, suppose I am giving an example of a nested list is something like nested list. So here I will create each employee. I have a separate entries. So I will create a main list. Inside that, I will give entry like this. So let's take first employee is my ABC. His designation. Okay, then his location or salary 3456.54 this is the first employee. Okay, then I will put comma, then I can create another list here which another employee information, so the XYZ, then comma, let's say this is a TL, then I can say the salary 1234434.56. Okay, makes sense. This is making sense, right? This is overall it is a list, and inside that this is the first employee and this is the second. This is called your nested list. Okay, making sense. This is
Yeah.
so now suppose let's go to the slicing. We have done it on the string slicing. So if I say nested underscore list and I say one, then what you will get it here?
The second one, XYZ TL.
Complete one, right?
Yeah,
Complete one you will get it. So this is actually the first position contain a list itself. Okay. Now here, suppose in this the same scenario, from the first member of the list, I want the TL. Then what I need to do?
mm,
Or from the first member, I want the employee name. Then what I need to
zero, zero
do?
index.
Zero. So this is further slicing. So this is
Yeah.
the first member of the list. Then I am saying from the first member, give me the first index. Then we will get the XYZ. This we want to always remember in case of the nested list. Okay. So one will be the member of the list. Second, once you get the member, we can slice more. Okay. Make sense? This is
Hmm.
so here suppose I'll give 0 to 2, then what I'll get?
XYZ
And
and
TL.
XYG and TL. That's it. Right? And
hmm.
suppose I will say 1, 2, or suppose let's take 0 to how many members I have here? Two members, right? That's fine. I don't have any choice here. Okay, let's take suppose this is a 0, then 0 2. What will be my output?
0202.
C,
So ABC and
SS.
SSE.
ABC and SSA. Okay, alright. So this is called your nested list. Alright.
Hmm.
Okay. So let's create. Next, I need to understand the copy list. Okay. So let's discuss the copy list. Copy list actually can be, or we want to copy the list can be done in three ways. This you need to remember always. This is quite important. Copy list. Okay. First is using your variable assignment, and we'll see what is the problem and what is the thing. Then is a copy method. There is a copy function is there. Then I have a deep copy. Okay, we'll see what is this all about. Okay, so let's discuss about the variable assignment first. So I have a nested list. So what I'll do, I'll create a nested underscore list one equals to nested list. Just assignment. This is called the copy. So this, whatever the content it is there, it will go to the nested list one. This is called the first way to copy it, the variable assignment. Okay. Now let's see what is the thing. Now if I execute now, nested underscore list, nested underscore list one.
Oh,
Oh, I given,
yeah.
I could have done it. Okay, let's create one more time. I don't want the spelling mistake to done. Okay, I'm copying another time. Alright. So now the nested list is there. Is the output, and the nested list one also the same output. Okay.
Mhm.
Now let's do some changes to the nested list. Okay. So or add or delete or something. Okay. So let's take nested list on the first element. Okay. On the first member means this part I'm talking about. Okay. And on the 0th position, I want to change the employee name. Okay. Not like this. Sorry. 0. So let's take WEF. I'm changing the member of this. So which one will change on the nested
Let's
list?
XYZ.
XYG. Okay. Let's see. So now the nested underscore list is WEF. Okay. Now the thing is, let's try to run the nested list one. What do you think?
It
This will
should not
change or that will be not change? It shouldn't
No,
change.
it will not change. No,
It will not change. Let's
because
see
it
the
was.
magic. It is changed. Okay. So this is the one when you have a variable assignment copy, right? Both the variables, in case of the nested list and the nested list one, both are pointing to the same memory location. That's why whenever you change to the parent list, it will change in the next list as well. This is the first point you always remember in case of the variable assignment copy. First point
Okay.
is clear?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Because both have pointing to the same location.
Hmm.
Next. Next we'll do with the copy method. Okay. So here I'm creating another list here. Nested underscore list 2. Okay. This time I will say nested underscore list dot copy. Instead of directly assigning the variable, I'm using say nested list dot copy. Okay. Different. Now hopefully, so list will be the same, and even the nested underscore list 2 also will be the same.
Yes.
Right? Both are same. Now uh, let's try to this. Here you need to remember that in case of the copy, changes to the entire element will not carry over between the original and copy, the first point. Whereas change to individual element within a nested list, it will reflect the both. So it means that here I will show you the other way first, then I will show you the first way, then where it will not affect. That is something like, suppose individual element within the list. So what does it mean? Again, the same behavior will work in this case. Where is that? I have just, yeah. Suppose again what I am doing is that nested list inside the member. Okay. So what I'm trying to talk about is that inside the first member of the position 0, I'm changing to XYZ. Now again, okay, and on the nested list. Now, anyway, the nested list will work, the changes. And let's see the nested list 2, which is done through the copy method, right?
Mm.
This is also will change. When you change the individual member of the list, of the nested list. Whereas nested list of one, first member, I'm not talking about the internal member. Now I'm talking about the member of the list. This is right. Carefully observe this. This one we changed the first member of that index, zero index, we change it. So it is something like the listed list, whatever there inside, that member I change it. So it is reflecting both the list when you are doing the copy. Okay. Whereas in the normal way, suppose on the first member only, I will change it now. I will say, let's take WEF. Suppose I say this is manager, then salary is let's say 10,000.45. Now I'm changing what? I'm changing the first member of the list. Making sense? This is. Are you
Mm.
following me properly? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you say underscore nested list, this will be changed because anyway we have changed the first position. But now if you go to the nested underscore list 2, okay, it will
Mm.
remains the same. It will only change the member where we changed the previous time. Okay. So this is the difference of copy. This we need to understand always. Okay. In case of the copy, if you change the member of the list, it will
Mhm.
not change on the copy list. Okay. Whereas if you change the individual element within a nested list, then it will reflect. Okay. Making sense?
Okay. Yeah.
This is always you remember. I think this is the most like people don't know how the copy. They say the copy means it will not change, but it will change. It will change only when we change the individual element of the nested list. Okay. Whereas if we change the member of the list, then it will not reflect. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
And this copy method is called the shallow copy. Okay. This is called the in a shallow copy. In a Python word, they call the shallow copy. Okay. And suppose another method, I have a deep copy. All these things I don't want. Whether I want to change it or not change it, I don't want to reflect at all on the second list. Then I will use the deep copy, the last one. Okay. So here, how to do the deep copy? So I say new list. So sorry, nested list 3 equals to deep copy of my nested underscore list. So this time the whichever the list is created, um, where is the my spelling mistake happen? Deep copy is not identified. Oh, sorry. I'm really sorry. So to use the deep copy, no, we need to use one Python library. Okay. So that I'm using it. So how to use that? So whenever you want to use one libraries in the Python, right? We need to start from the from keyword. Okay. Then we need to use the library. In this case, the library is copy. Copy is a library. Then import. What do you want to import? From the copy library, import deep copy.
Oh.
Then we can use this. Okay. From the copy libraries, import the deep copy function. Okay, now enter it. Now we can use this function. Then it will work. Okay, now it is created. Alright. So now what has happened is anything we change on the nested list, it will never reflect to the nested list 3. That you can check it out. But this is the case. Nested list, it will be a separate list itself. It will not bother about what is happening inside the nested list. Okay, and these are
Oh,
the 3 ways you can copy. One is the variable assignment, copy, deep copy. Okay, make
oh,
sense?
yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so this is about the list. So we have discussed about how to declare the list, how to check the membership of the list, how to unpack the list, then changing the list element and adding also through the append and insert, then how to concatenate the list, how to delete the item from the list. Then there are some list functions we discuss. Sort, we discuss the sort and the sorted method. Then the copy method. Okay, so these are the functions or these are the functionality will be used in different programming whenever the logic will come up about the list. And you
So
should
can you,
know all this thing about the list. Go ahead.
okay. So you, can you maximize this screen? We just want to take the notepad. Acha, okay. Copy list. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Thank you, sir.
So these are the items we need to discuss about the list. And list is very important. Okay. And tomorrow I will discuss about the other sequence data type, which is called the tuple and the range. It's a very simple one. Okay. But we'll discuss about that. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And please practice this on the list, otherwise you will forget. Looks simple, but you will forget the functions, whichever you want to use where. So if you remember the functions, you can use it whenever it is required. Alright?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Sir,
Hmm.
uh, sir,